welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tawanda and I build software applications and websites. So today I'm probably going to sound like a broken record right now because I'm still going to talk about the permissions that we're building for the SOS2 system. So the current implementation that we have is if a user who's using this system doesn't have a permission to perform a certain action or to have access to certain pages, you don't want to display whether it's that particular page or the button to redirect them to the page. So maybe giving an example, if a user doesn't have the permission to create an invoice, they're not supposed to see that button for creating an invoice. So that's the implementation that we have right now. But as we were discussing with my co-founder, we actually found out that to the user this might actually seem like a bug or a system error that they are not actually seeing a button to perform a certain action, or maybe they are not viewing a particular page. So the implementation that we decided to go with is to disable the buttons if the user doesn't have the permission to perform that action, and if they do have the permission, we want to display the button but it will be enabled. And then we also want to add a feature flag that will control whether buttons that are disabled are going to be displayed or they are going to be removed from the page. Okay, so let me just show you the current implementation that we have right now. Okay, so I'm currently viewing the quotations module. Let me just enable, or let me come to invoices. In fact, let's come to invoices, right? So this user has got permissions to create a new invoice, create a bulk invoice, view the invoice, and delete it, right? So if I come through to my rows and I want to remove the permission, for creating an invoice. Create invoice. Let's disable this. Okay, so if I come back here, see the new invoice button has been removed from the page. So the implementation that we want to add right now is we want to disable the button if the user doesn't have the permission to create a new invoice, and then we'll add a tooltip so that when they hover over the button, it will show them like sort of like a message like you do not have access to this feature, just to enhance user experience so that they actually know what is going on. So that's what I actually want to implement right now. Then I'll show you even the code structure and how it actually looks like, or how I'm going to implement it. Okay, so this will be our feature flag value here, display disabled buttons. So if this is true, then the buttons are supposed to be displayed, and if it's false, then the button is not supposed to show. So let me check if I declare this variable here. Right, invoice create. Okay, back to invoices. So the button has been removed. Now let's check for our flag here. What's our current value? We initialized it as true, so meaning our pattern should be displayed, not should be displayed, but it should be false. So let's check what I missed. So I actually changed the whole implementation that I had done, like in the computed property, to check for the reactive changes that will be going on. So I created 3 new methods. Here's permission. So this one takes permission as a parameter, and then it will check if the permission that has been passed as a parameter currently exists in the permissions that are currently being fetched from the local storage, because local storage would be a better option for caching. And then I created another one, show button 4. It also takes a permission as a parameter. So if this has permission, since we have validated this permission, then we pass in this value into has permission function. Then if has permission has got the permission that I'm passing in here, they need to return a true value, else the display of the pattern will be dependent on the value of this variable, which is display disabled patterns, which will be our feature flag when everything has been implemented correctly and not using hard-coded values like what I'm doing right now. Then as for the is held disabled patterns, it also takes permission as a parameter. We're going to use the has permission function for validation as well. So if we pass in permission into is disabled and it's not existent in has permission, then it's going to return false and our pattern will be disabled. So if I come back to the page, I'm not sure if that is visible, but the new invoice pattern has been disabled. So what I actually have to do as well is to disable the cursor, so the cursor won't be allowed, and then we'll add the tooltip. So that's what I'm actually going to do right now. Okay, so I'll add the pattern tooltip function in here, because we want to listen for reactive changes that will be going on, like for hovering over the button. Okay, so I'm going to use the disable function. So if it's disabled, for if this value is true, I want to say you do not have access to this feature, else we don't want to display anything. So yeah, the tooltip is done. Okay, add the styling, or if the button is disabled, we don't want the cursor to be displayed. So give it a not allowed value. Okay, yeah, so the implementation is working correctly. I'm not sure if you can see that. But yeah, if you have over the button, you're shown a tooltip as a user. So now you know that you don't have access. Alright, so the implementation for disabling patterns is working for the table and also for creating an invoice, and these are both being controlled by the display disabled patterns flag. So if I come through here, then I set this value to false, that means since I'm in the table, the view pattern is not supposed to be displayed. right? Okay, invoices. Okay, there we go. The action column has been removed and all columns have been put to the right to take up that space in which we had the action column. So yeah, that's the new implementation that we are actually going for right now to control the display of the buttons with the feature flag. So yeah, that was it for this one, guys. If you want to see more of this social system content and where we're going to be, how we're going to go through, how we're going to go about the client acquisition process, and also the rollout of the system, stay tuned. Please subscribe, comment, and share the video. Alright, so cheers guys, enjoy the rest of your day.